So yesterday I was able to participate in a webinar called Deep Dives into Google Forms, and I found some little nuggets of information I wanted to share with you. The first thing I wanted to share is in the three dots in the top right-hand corner. If you go down to Preferences, here's some default settings that you can change. If you know you always want to collect emails from your Google Forms, you can go ahead and click that Collect Emails. Questions. So if you use Google Forms for quizzes, make questions required. That's always kind of a pain that you have to click on every single question to make sure students answer it. And then that default quiz point value is set at 0. Let's go ahead and change it to 5 points. So that will be my default settings anytime I make a new Google form. Love that a lot. Going to go ahead and hit save there. The other thing I wanted you to know is it depends on what type of question you have. Right here, I have a multiple choice question. And if I go to the three dots, yes, I have the options to go to section based on answer. But what is this description piece? Well, this description piece can be kind of a hint. So what is the answer? And then down here in the description, here is a hint. And when you see that in preview mode, it separates what the question is versus what your little answer is going to be. So love that description. Now it depends, like I said, on what type of question you have. So short answer, we have, again, the opportunity to have a description, which is great down here. Here's my hint. If you haven't played around with response validation, that can be a great tool. I know if you make escape rooms and things like that, you're good at response validation. But something else for those of you who release a Google form early in the day for all of your students, and you don't want them to be able to answer the form until you're ready, they recommended using response validation for a password to the quiz. So if I went ahead, and you could choose a number, but text has to contain the word start quiz, whatever, custom error text. If they don't put that in, no cheating, right? So they have to put in the I don't know how to spell hippopotamus, as that's your key word. And they don't get that word until you start class. So they can't take the quiz early. Love that feature as well. Now, I know some of you are worried. Kids were finding ways to cheat in Google Forms, and the engineers from Google that I talked to said that they've blocked as much of that as they can. I know kids were going into HTML source code and figuring that out. They said the response validation is in the source code, but plain old multiple choice questions, kids should not be able to find the answers that way. So the only other things they talked about, which I kind of love, is the ability to auto close a form after a certain number of responses, or auto close a form at a specific date and time. And those are add-ons, and I'm working with Jean to make sure that we have those add-ons allowed on our computers. So just a few tips and tricks and a deep dive into Google Forms. Slam.